So I made a video on the 2005 United States Grand Prix, and so I thought I'd make one on the 2011 Canadian Grand Prix, another eventful race for F1. The 48th Canadian Grand Prix was set to take place on June 11, 2011 at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve as round 7 of the 2011 Formula One World Championship. Circuit Gilles Villeneuve is a 14-turn, 2.71-mile road course. The circuit is on the Notre Dame Island in the St. Lawrence River near Montreal. The race was to be contested over 70 laps. Vettel qualified on pole, followed by Alonso, Massa, Webber, Hamilton, Rosberg, Button, Schumacher, Heidfeld, and Petrov. Jerome D'Ambrosio did not qualify within the 107% time, but was granted entry to the race by the stewards, as Virgin had shown reasonable speed that season and earlier throughout the weekend. Jamie Alguersuari for Toro Rosso started from the pit lane. The day of the race, it had been raining and was only expected to get worse after the race started. The race director, Charlie Whiting, determined that the race would start under the safety car due to high amounts of standing water and high spray reducing visibility. One of the other contributing factors was probably the unique design of Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. The walls are built very close to the circuit. This is very uncommon for a permanent racing facility like Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Due to the safety car start, all cars had to start on full wet tires. At the end of lap 4, the safety car would enter the pit lane, allowing the race to begin in green flag conditions. Hamilton and Webber collided in turn 1. On lap 6, Hamilton made an attempt to pass Schumacher but ran wide into the hairpin and dropped behind Button. On lap 8, coming down the front straight, Hamilton made a move to the inside of Button and Button squeezed him into the wall. Hamilton would have to retire from the race, and this brought out a safety car on lap 8, so Marshall could safely recover his stranded McLaren. Button pitted just after the safety car was deployed for intermediate tires, but was then given a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car, dropping him to 15th. The safety car came in at the end of lap 12. On lap 16, Button was over a second quicker than Vettel, who was running full wets. Several drivers proceeded then to make the switch to intermediates, as they were the fastest tire at the time. On lap 20, the safety car came out due to heavy rain. Fernando Alonso and Jenson Button made a pit stop to change back to full wets. Vettel stopped from the lead for a new set of wets, dropping him to second behind Felipe Massa. On the next lap, Massa made a stop, giving the lead back to Vettel. On lap 22 under the safety car, Sebastian Vettel said that turn 9 through 13 was, quote, undrivable. Alguersuari ran wide off the track under safety car speeds. On lap 23, Vettel said on the radio it was too dangerous to restart the race. On lap 25, the race was red flagged. The race would be suspended for over 2 hours waiting for the rain to get better. The race resumed under the safety car, and the safety car came in at the end of lap 34. Jerome D'Ambrosio pitted for intermediate tires just prior to the safety car coming in. On lap 35, a host of drivers pitted for intermediates while Vettel continued to lead. More drivers pitted on lap 36, including Button. D'Ambrosio was given a drive-through penalty for restarting the race on the improper tire compound, as all safety car restarts require everyone to use the full wet tires. Once again on lap 37, a host of drivers pitted. Vettel still led on full wets. On lap 37, Fernando Alonso wrecked in turn 4 after contact with Jenson Button, bringing out the safety car again. Button got a puncture and had to stop along with Sebastian Vettel. They went back to green flag racing on lap 41. On lap 45, Michael Schumacher set the then fastest lap as he was running in 4th. Lap 46, race control enabled DRS despite everyone running on intermediates, all while Vettel continued to still lead. On lap 51, Mark Webber pitted for slicks. Schumacher made a move on Massa and Kobayashi to propel him up into second place. Button pitted along with several other drivers for slicks on lap 52. More drivers pitted on lap 53 while Vettel stayed out and continued to lead by 15 seconds. over Kobayashi. Vettel pitted on lap 54 for slicks. Massa spun sideways into the wall, breaking his front wing, forcing him to make a stop again. This, however, would not bring out the safety car. On lap 55, Webber went to make a move on Schumacher with the assistance of DRS into the final chicane, but ran wide. By lap 56, Schumacher cut Vettel's lead down to 9 seconds. Button moved up into 4th at the end of lap 56, while lapping 2 seconds quicker than Vettel, while Vettel was struggling for temperature in his tires. The safety car came out on lap 57 for debris from Heidfeld's front wing, who wrecked the previous lap. The safety car came in on lap 61. Vettel continued to lead, while Schumacher had pressure from Webber and Button. On lap 63, Mark Webber went around the outside of Michael Schumacher into the final chicane, but locked up and went wide. He had to give the spot back as he gained a position while going off track. The next lap, Webber would miss the corner again and would get passed by Jenson Button. On lap 65, Jenson Button would go around the outside of Michael Schumacher for second at the final chicane. On lap 66, Button was a second and a half quicker than Vettel, cutting Vettel's lead down to just a second and a half. Schumacher dropped to 4th on lap 67 as Webber moved around the outside into the final chicane. Vettel went into the final lap with a 0.9 second lead over Jenson Button, with Button being faster. As Vettel worked his way into turn 6, he ran in too deep and went wide and got sideways, opening the door for Jenson Button to take the lead. Button would continue on to win the race, with Vettel second and Mark Webber rounding out the podium. Michael Schumacher would just miss out on his first podium of his comeback with Mercedes as he finished 4th. Massa just edged out Kobayashi at the line for 6th. Jenson Button went through the pit lane 6 times for either a stop or a penalty. The stewards decided not to issue a penalty for the incident between Button and Hamilton as they felt neither driver was at fault. Hamilton agreed with the steward's decision, but did say that he thought he was alongside Button, but felt that Button didn't see him. Hamilton also said that Button's race was an utterly fantastic performance. No penalty was issued for Button's incident with Alonso because, again, they felt no driver was truly to blame. Alonso similarly agreed with the stewards and said that he didn't blame Button and that it was just a final incident on a day that everything went wrong. This was the first time the Canadian Grand Prix had been affected by rain in 11 years. Many people involved in F1 have been very critical of the FIA's use of the safety car in this race. Martin Brundle said that because the drivers pitted immediately after the safety car ended, that it was probably out for too long. There were 6 safety car periods, including the start of the race. These lasted for 32 laps, or 45.71% of the race. Including the red flag, the race lasted 4 hours, 4 minutes, and 39 seconds, making it the longest race in F1 history. Records were also set for the lowest average winning speed at 46.518 miles per hour, the most pit stops for a winner at 6, and most safety cars at 6. I think this was an exciting race, especially considering that Vettel led for 68 of the 70 laps. Despite that, the racing was still quite interesting. I do think the safety car was probably out too long after the race was restarted, as the track had little to no standing water and spray was minimal. But I also think that the newness of the Pirelli tires and the fact that the walls are so close at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve contributed in the decision-making process for the FIA. So now you've heard from me, and now I want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on the 2011 Canadian Grand Prix? Do you think it was an exciting race? What are your thoughts on how the FIA used the safety car? Did they use it too much or for too long? Thanks for watching, and until next time, so long everybody. So